The governor of Benue State has commissioned the first batch of community volunteer guards, a security outfit aimed at fighting armed herdsmen and terrorists. Samuel Ortom is also calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to grant licenses for the security guards to bear weapons in combating crimes.
There can be no doubt that this is also a sobering day, because this is a mission that would have been unnecessary had the federal government authorities been serious about its constitutional mandate of security lives and property of all Nigerians by mobilizing a robust response to the terrorism and banditry that has created nationwide insecurity. The law had to be amended by my administration to pave way for the volunteer guards to assist the conventional security agencies to curb insecurity in Benue State. By the provisions of the new law, the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards can therefore now carry legally approved weapons, which we have duly provided and we will provide.
Well, let's cross live now to Benue State, the capital to be precise, Makurdi, and speak to Governor Samuel Ortom himself. Good evening, Mr. Governor, and thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. Well, let me begin.
Thank you very much.
Great. Let me begin by asking you to elaborate on this volunteer guards you speak of. What would be the scope of the operation? And you also said earlier today while you were inaugurating it that they will assist security agencies. So does that mean that you have the buy-in of the government security agencies in your state? Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much. I did not hear the last part of your question, but let me say that I appreciate the conventional security agencies in Benue State posted to us from the federal government by their support and commitment to ensure that we have security for lives and property. But I want to tell you and all Nigerians and the federal government that truly the conventional security agencies in Benue State are overwhelmed because of the security challenges we have here in Benue State. And I think that this is as a result of the federal government inability to curb insurgents of terrorist Fulani men, militia, and herdsmen coming from Mali, from Niger, from Cameroon, from Ghana, from Fouta Djallon, and Mauritanian, from Libya, and other parts of the world, to take over Nigeria as their country. That is why they have sustained their efforts to ensure that they drive away the indigenous people and take over the land and make sure that they do not go back to their ancestral land. They've been doing their best, but truly they are overwhelmed. And for us in Benue State, we felt that there is need to support the conventional security agencies in Benue State. That is why we went back to our archives, went back to history, and look at what Senator George Akume was able to do in 2000, that is 2000, where he enacted a law establishing community volunteer guards to assist the conventional security agencies. We looked at it, and looking at the contemporary challenges that we have today, we decided to amend the law, which was duly passed by the House of Assembly, and I signed it into law. And today, we have decided to launch community volunteer guards to support the conventional security agencies. They have no power to prosecute. They have no power to do the normal security job, but they have the powers to support and assist the conventional security agencies to ensure that we have security for lives and property, because we have internal problems within our states.
Absolutely, and I'm wondering, Mr. Governor, you've made quite, some points, and in different fora, you have made the point about, this Fulanis, in your own words, that come from different parts of Africa. But let me ask you, I mean, how can you sustain this voluntary guard, considering the fact that Benue State is in financial dire straits with a 32% or so of poverty rate in that state? And if they are voluntary, it connotes that they will not be paid. How are you going to sustain it? How do you ensure they will not find other means of taking care of their welfare?
That gives you the message. If we say they are volunteer guards, these are people who are volunteered. They have no salary. But they have also realized that security for lives and property is first and foremost, because without security, you cannot talk about any other meaningful development. You cannot talk about yourself living. You cannot talk about existence. And that is why these people who are members of these community volunteer guards, they are drawn from business community in Benue State, they are drawn from farmers, they are drawn from the civil service, they are drawn from all walks of life. But all that they want is to support the conventional security agencies to ensure that we have security for lives and property, because that is the primary responsibility of any government in place. I want to assure you that for us in Benue State, with the mandate of the people, they have decided that, look, we must secure our land first, because we have seen the evil agenda of the Fulani herdsmen to take over our land and make us inferior and make us slaves. We are now ready to be slaves. We defeated the Fulanis in the 1804, and we are ready to fight again to do that. And I tell you that my people have told me, I have their mandate to say that we are not going to accept invasion and colonization or ruga or invasion of this herdsmen. And our people are ready to defend their land. That they have told me, and I'm ready as their leader to work with them. They have volunteered to provide all these men. Mind you, this is just the first batch. More are going to come. There is a first batch, there is going to be second batch, there is going to be third batch, there is going to be several other batches that will come, because every average Nigerian and Benue State man and woman is ready to die for the land. We cannot concede our land to the Fulanis.
But don't you think when you, ascribe this ethnic crisis, farmer-herder, clashes, when you, mention when you say it's Fulani herdsmen, don't you think you further complicate, solutions that could have come in solving this problem? The ethnicization of the terrorism and, clashes in Benue and in other parts of the country. Don't you think this ethnic bias complicates issues?
Let me tell you, the truth is that there are Nigerians. We have more than 250 ethnic groups, including the Fulanis. We have lived together, we have worked together, we have survived together. But from 2009, when these people from Mali, from Niger, from other parts of the world came in, I tell you that, look, there are 3 people in Cameroon, but they live in Cameroon. They have won election and they have cohabited with the people over there. But there is no time that the three people came to Nigeria and said that they will make Nigeria their own country. This is a challenge. These people that are coming, they have evil agenda to take over this country, and that is what they are doing. From Sokoto to Benue to River State to Plateau State to all over the place to Zamfara and all that. And that is what they are doing. As far as we here in Benue State, we resisted this in 1804, and we're ready to resist it again. We are not talking about the conventional Fulani men who are here with us, but we're talking about the Fulanis that come from other parts of the world and seek to send us away from our ancestral home and take over the land and settle there and make us slaves. We cannot be slaves again. There is an abolition globally about slave trade. And so nobody should seek to make us slaves, to make us their subject, and then make us look as inferior to the people. All that we're saying is Nigeria is a secular country, and everybody should live and let's live. Nobody is coming against that. They use Islam as a shield to take over our land. We don't have any problem with Islam. Nigeria is a secular country. Everybody should practice the religion that he wants, and that is what we believe. In Benue State here, we believe in freedom of religion, freedom of association, freedom of operation, freedom of whatever.
Okay, so Mr. Governor, let's talk about the last part of my question you didn't hear initially. I asked you if this has the buy-in of the conventional security agencies. Does it have the buy-in of the government? And how exactly are they to carry out these duties? You said they will not be prosecuting, but they will do other things. So how exactly do they carry out these duties?
Let me tell you, the community volunteer guards, as amended, was a creation and discussion of the State Security Council of Benue State. So all the security agencies are involved, the government are involved, Benue State government is also involved. So we sat and reviewed the complex security situation that we have found ourselves. And we say that, look, yes, the conventional security men are doing very well. They were all there in the Security Council, but they are truly overwhelmed, and we need to do something to support them. And that was why we came out with this amendment. These amendments were discussed in the Security Council. The issue of providing arms and weapons which are legal to the community volunteer guards was discussed in the Security Council. We all adopted it. The minutes are there. We all accepted it. So there is the buy-in. And today, while we were launching the community volunteer guards, the entire Security Council of Benue State were there. We're talking about the police, the army, the civil defense, the Air Force, the DSS, the National, the NDL, and all those other security, they were all there. We have all agreed together that there is need to do something. Let us have a community-based security that will be able to provide intelligent gathering to our security operatives. Let us have a community-based security operatives that will be on ground where the conventional security men are overwhelmed. They can come in and give support. So we have the buy-in of the security apparatus of our country, Nigeria, and those who are posted in Benue State to work together. We're not doing anything outside this. The weapons that will be provided will be anchored and monitored by the police in various local governments.
Right.
Okay, and because when you say the arms will be monitored, have they been licensed? Because according to Part 2 of the Firearms Act of Nigeria, 1990, only the President and the Inspector General of Police can license such guns. So do you also have the buy-in that those guns will be licensed? If not, some will wonder what's the difference in what you're setting up and the Amotekun. And if we should learn from history, the Amotekun in the Southwest have been complaining that because they are not licensed to carry arms, it's difficult for them to carry out some operations because those that they face are armed to the teeth. So how do the community vigilante that you're setting up face armed men?
Thank you very much. I want to say that, like I said, the community volunteer guards, we carry legal weapons. There are several types of weapons in our country and as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to assure you that at the local government, they are allowed, the chairman of local government is allowed to grant license to den guns. Nobody will prohibit anybody carrying sword or cutlass or any other local weapon that people use to protect themselves. And of course, for weapons like double barrel shotgun or single barrel shotgun or pump action are licensed by the police in the states. And so those ones can be sought, and if the police give license, they can carry them. But the issue of AK-47, AK-49 and other weapons are the prerogative of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is why in my inauguration speech today, I did say that we will seek, and by tomorrow, I'm submitting a letter to the President to grant AK-47, AK-49, and so on license to our community volunteer guards so that they can be able to face the Fulanese, militia and herdsmen who come with AK-47 and AK-49. And I did make a point. I did say that since the federal government cannot demobilize and collect these guns from Fulani holding AK-47 and AK-49, we should be allowed to have licenses. I have written in the past, and I'm writing again tomorrow to the President to allow us so that we can face the Fulanis who are coming here to kill our people every day. More than 5,000 people have been killed in Benue State since 2015, and we cannot allow this to continue. And that is the point we are making. There is no way that the federal government will allow Fulanis to carry AK-47 and then come out and arrest those people who carry cutlasses, who carry den guns, who carry pump action, who carry double barrel gun or single barrel gun, and so on. But the truth is that even with the pump action, double barrel gun and single barrel gun cannot contend with AK-47. So federal government, since they cannot demobilize the Fulani herdsmen and militia, they should allow us to carry also AK-47 or AK-49. We are ready as a government to purchase this equipment and give to our people who will squarely fight the Fulani herdsmen until federal government is ready to demobilize them and fight them. For now, we are ready, and the federal government should be ready to also support us in this bid. But we are law-abiding people, and we have chosen that we will be law-abiding and ensure that we get license. That is what we are saying. Otherwise, Guns are everywhere, just that the Fulanis are getting from Mauritania, from Libya and all that. But because we have chosen to be law-abiding people, we are saying that the federal government should give us license. If they don't give us license, we now know that they are biased. And
that's exactly
we know the next step to take.
That's exactly my point. I mean, I'm glad you say that the process of getting license from the federal government for AK-47 and AK-49 is already ongoing. In the event that you don't get the license to carry, for these volunteer groups to carry AK-47 and 49, what would be the options that you would, go for?
The option will be that I will go back to my people who have told me to do what I have done. As I said, what we have done today is a creation of the law. We have enacted a law. It is not in conflict with the provisions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In the event, and my people have asked me to seek Mr. President's approval for livestock guard to have AK-47 and AK-49 so that we can confront these men. But in the event that the federal government declines, just like recently, I sought for 42 billion naira to seek loan to clear the arrears of salaries and pension and gratuity, which I inherited, and they declined because of politics. If they decline, I will go back again to the people and seek their consent. Whatever they tell me to do, I am going to do. That I want to assure you. I will not stop them, because self-preservation is the first law of nature. And we cannot continue to remain docile and be killed in the manner that we are being killed in Benue State. Every day you hear of killings, right. Militia or Fulanis coming to kill us in Benue State. We cannot allow this to continue.
Okay, great. Governor Ortom, in 30 seconds, how do you guarantee that if this volunteer group is armed, that they will not turn against the populace, snowball into other kinds of monsters? How do you guarantee that? Very quickly, in 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. These are patriotic people. They are the creation of the traditional rulers of Benue State. They are the custodians of Benue State land. And I believe that these people are committed to the people where they come from. The people we inaugurated today is a creation of the 23 local governments, and they are ready to work for their people. They are not being paid. Only allowances will be provided. Government can do one or two things, but they are ready. They have volunteered themselves because they have said that this killings is too much. We are ready to die for our land. And so I want to assure you and all Nigerians that these people are people of integrity, and they are willing to preserve the land.
Samuel Ortom, the governor of Benue State, thank you very much for joining us on Arise News Night.
Thank you so much.